I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA.
Yo, this is Tommy with the Hungry Millennial vlog, day 3. I have yet to upload day 2 yet. I'm currently working on a way to spice up my introduction a little bit, working with some like 3D graphics on Blender. So that's in the works. Today my day started at around 5 a.m. I woke up at O'Hare Airport, and then I probably didn't get my first Uber ride till like 7 or something like that. So in the meantime, I spent my time trying to figure out how to like program videos, trying to learn videography. I feel like the best way to market for yourself is to actually market for yourself and figure it out that way. So I'm trying to like dive into trying to figure out video and audio and stuff like that, so that way I can do free marketing more for myself. Today with on the spot detailing, I actually got to detail a lady vacuum out her car. She was extremely grateful. She left a message on my Facebook page about how I was kind of her savior, because she's also an Uber driver, and she didn't want to, continue driving with her car as messy as it was. By the way, my Facebook page is On the Spot Interiors. That is On the Spot Interiors. Catch me on Instagram at On the Spot Guy. Get your daily dose of motivation there. Right now, I'm currently in the south side of Chicago, out near Cicero, Ubering. And so today I wanted to talk about adapting. As a millennial, we're gonna experience a bunch of different types of changes and things like that. But the biggest thing that you can, do is adapt to the changes that, that you're going through, right? So instead of whining, complaining, try not to waste that time on whining, complaining, and actually do something about it, right? It doesn't matter. We live in a country where it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your level of finances, it doesn't matter your level of talent. That opportunity is there. And honestly, when it comes to excuses, people really don't care about your excuses. Your mom, your dad might care, they might say they care, but they really don't. So the biggest thing that you can do for yourself and for your future is to adapt to the changes that happen in your life, right? Today I wanted to Uber a little bit longer during the daytime, right? So I can make, my money that I normally make, right? But at the same time, what ended up happening is me learning the videos and, how to, really twist that up, which is a sacrifice that I have to make. It took longer than normal. So, now I'm out, it's 11:30 and I'm still hustling to make my money. It's not, the ideal situation, but I'm out here grinding, I'm out here getting it, because nobody's going to give it to me. That's one of those things that you got to learn in life is, it doesn't matter, nobody's there, nobody's, gonna give you a handout all the time, right? It might seem sweet right now, but eventually it gets to the point where, I'm at a point in my life where, it's either, make it or don't, right? So that's why I hustle the way I hustle. It sucks at times, right? I'm like, there are times where, it's Chicagoland, so there are times where you may not be able to use a bathroom when you want to use a bathroom, right? Or, etc., because there just aren't any restrooms in Chicago ever. Chicago freaking sucks because of that. That's probably my biggest complaint complaint of today. But on the bright side, for the most part, I've noticed the nicer I am, the more courteous I am to riders, the more tips that I receive. It could be as small as, earlier I had a couple passengers with bags. So, I took those bags, I lifted them up, and I put them on the curb. But when I put them on the curb, I also picked the kickstand up, or the handle up, so that way they could, walk off and, continue on their path. So sometimes it's the small things like that that really make a difference in people's lives. Ultimately, today was a fairly good day. I got the vibe with some very important, some people who, they didn't look like they had a lot, but they had a lot to say, right? So, in the end, what it really came down to, I had a gentleman get in my car, and, he was talking about, struggles in life and things like that. And he said no matter what his day looked like, he was always willing to help somebody else out, right? So having that, that humbleness to understand that there's always somebody in a worse situation than you are, sometimes, really help you get through the day, right? So, one of the things that I've really learned about like adapting is, sometimes you don't understand, a situation, and you might not understand that situation until you change your mindset. What I've learned a lot about corporate America is, like, a lot of people, they'll adapt a little bit, they'll change a little bit, but sometimes, like, you never know when, adapting a little bit isn't gonna work for you anymore, right? So, sometimes it's better to just go all in, and it's like, when, like, I was playing football, hold on a second. Like, when I was playing football in high school, like, we were all in, when it came to football or whatever. But, a lot of us didn't realize that college and life was going to hit us, like a ton of bricks, right? We weren't really all in on school, right? So, and a lot of, my peers, they went to college, they didn't like college, they joined the military, they dropped out, they got out of the military early, right? But, being able to, find that adaptation and that ability to adapt to struggles in life will change things for you. It's like, I noticed that, like, depending on other people in Chicagoland really wasn't working out. It didn't work out for me or them because I felt like I was putting them at an inconvenience. So, I had to adapt, Is sleeping in my car something I want to do? No, but it's one of those things where if I adapt to it now, and just embrace the change, I've noticed when I embrace the change, it changes things, right? There was, throughout my life, I've had different struggles, right? So when I worked for the sub shop I used to work for, we used to have these competitions, right? They were called before and afters. You take something dirty, you make it clean, right? So somebody, they was always doing, they would do 20 of them per period, right? And they would always sweep the competition. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 20, right? So, and then I was doing 20, but I was losing. And then all of a sudden, I decided that, I was gonna commence beast mode, right? So I started doing 40, right? And then, my last period of being a training manager for said company, I ended up doing 80. But when I left to leave with the military, I had set it up to a point where, I was, just annihilating the competition. They were literally sending checks to my bank account. But all it took was a mindset to adapt to that change that was happening and to adapt to my circumstance and not complain about it. I noticed when I stopped complaining, that's when I started succeeding. So, my biggest thing for you guys, on day 3, my biggest thing is adapt to the change, learn, take it as a learning experience. Even if you fail, don't give up. Keep grinding, keep hustling, keep doing what you're doing, keep exerting that effort. Never give up. But sometimes you just have to adapt and change the way that you look at things, right? Once you start adapting and change the way you look at life will start to flow your way. I've noticed the harder I work, the more luck I have. Anyway, This is Tommy on the Hungry Millennial vlog. Like, share, subscribe. Check out my Instagram at On The Spot Guy, as well as check out my my YouTube page. You know, the Hungry Millennial, right? Tommy out.
I got